Skinny ass legs, Skeletor ass legs. Stupid. Look like one of those skeletons dancing in Halloween. I forgot what that shit was.
I
From
did
Disney,
legs
one of
today.
those
Now I
black and
think
white
about it.
things. Stupid. All right. So, before we get into it, get into it. What do you mean?
I'm talking to a mirror. Go ahead.
All right. All right. We are back, everyone. We are back, gentlemen. We are back, fans. We are back, subscribers. We are back, Media Marauders. How y'all doing today, man? Y'all doing all right?
Quite pleasant.
I feel like y'all are a little excited.
Doing good. Doing good.
Good day, you know?
What's a couple brother?
We're
I'm ready to hold hands with my friends, you know? I'm ready to hold hands, you know?
No, I don't. We're good. We're good from a distance. I still think we're good, even though I'm contradicting everything I'm saying. But we're not gonna get into that. Anyways, all right. This is gonna be an interesting episode. This is an episode I think a lot of us have kind of been waiting for. We've been talking about this particular topic on and off for the past since the beginning. I feel like since the beginning of April, when we started this channel. So, for the ones that don't know, we're giant nerds when it comes to a lot of video games, especially JRPGs. Mostly things that are anime centric as well. Most of us are, anyways, in here. We're finally going to be able to talk about Final Fantasy VII: The Remake, which just released. Yes, exactly. The excitement. I'm ready.
I finished it today. Okay, anyway.
Jace, you just finished it today, right?
He actually did.
I did. It's all
Remember,
fresh.
time we're stamping this very moment. James finally finished the damn fucking game. Thank God. Nah,
First game in years. Crazy.
Oh yeah, this is okay. But yes, we're back. We're finally back. And we're finally able to speak on this. We are. Oh, first, let me start off by saying this once again. This is Media Marauders. We have your illustrious crew here. This is Max. I'm Max. We have Mr. Thomas.
What it do?
Mr. James.
What's up?
King.
What's up?
And Mr. Nigel. It's great to see you again, man.
What up? Back in the building.
All right, but yes, we're all back. We're all back in here to be able to finally talk about Final Fantasy VII: The Remake. We're gonna try our hardest not to spend too much time speaking of how great. Most of us, I feel like all of us can agree that we really did enjoy this game, but I'm not gonna speak for either any of y'all. I will say personally, I really did enjoy the game. The pacing of the game at first, I've shitted on it before. The first 2-3 hours of the game, I wasn't the biggest fan of, but
Hold on real quick.
Go ahead.
You have trash opinions. Remember that from last episode.
Mr. Thomas once again is shitting on me, but hey, I could find a way to mute his mic when he starts talking. I'm sure I could do that eventually. I'll find a way to do that.
Hey. That's
damn right, damn it. But no, like I said, I did enjoy the game. I enjoyed it immensely. It was like playing. It was a good combination of the OG Final Fantasy and this whole new beautiful
World.
Yeah,
Fantasy.
and it's a world revisited. It's like coming back home and finding so many new things and not being like not letting it be too jarring for you. Like it just makes sense that it happened. But I think what we want to do is kind of just speak on what we enjoyed about it and really, really dive in on the ending and some theories that we've heard or have for our own, things that even the fans, all the viewers, can be able to check out for themselves or have questions or had, never really thought of in that moment while playing the game. Once again, this game came out a few months ago, back in April 10th or the 17th, one of those. And, excuse me, I just, some of it is still fresh on our minds. Others, we haven't been able to stop thinking about it since it dropped or a while after we finished beating the game. So, I say, well, why not we started off with you, Mr. Thomas. What you got to say about the game?
One thing I like, it's one of the big things are how much, if you were a fan of the original compilation, was there, and then how many details. If you actually were like one of those people who like play Final Fantasy like 7, and you had like the memories of a lot of the different moments, how much stuff stood out, like the small things, like when Reno, one big scene for me that sticks out, when they dropped the plate on Sector 7.
Yes.
a lot of things in that moment were foreshadowing what you find later on in the game. Because down to the fight when you fight Reno and Rude, initially that was a fight when you just fought Reno, and he did what he had to do.
The damn pyramid.
And which caused a major injury to him. Because remember, in the original one, he ends up jumping off the plate and getting injured, and he's sidelined for who knows how long in the series, in the game.
I think we don't see him again until Wu-Tai in the bar.
Yeah, because in Wu-Tai in the bar, I think you might run into him Coast of the Soul because he's on forced relaxation or something like that.
Yeah, he's at the beach. Yeah, was it? Yeah, real on Soul. What's
Coast of the Soul?
Coast of the Soul. Yeah.
And so like little things like that, and then like even like I was like speaking with y'all earlier, like Kunzel is mentioned, like he's just name dropped at a moment, but if you play Crisis Core and you remember like all the little side things that happen, Zach's always texting back and forth with Kunzel.
Yeah, I played that game back in fact, like from the beginning to end. Crisis Core was a great game, by the way. I played it all the way through. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
Well said.
I'm sorry, Mr. Thomas. Continue. We're right here. Me and you on eye to eye.
Yeah, but like the stuff like that, you know, when you really look at how much you can tell the people who made this game were fans of the original compilation, the original Final Fantasy VII. Like, and like even like one more Easter egg to the point of when you first see Sephiroth, it plays the hymn from Advent Children, which kind of sets you up to what's going. Like that's another bit of foreshadowing, letting you know what's going on, where they're at in this part of the story. But that's my little bits here and there.
Yeah, I think the inclusion for Johnny was the way they developed Johnny, like the way they introduced Johnny in the remake was completely different. Not completely different, but like he was more involved than in the OG.
Yeah, he definitely had more agency. I think in the OG, like in the original one, he was just he was kind of like a mime character that you could follow his story, but he never said anything to you. I don't think.
Yeah, the only time I really remember him was outside the Honeybee Lounge.
Hell, I didn't remember him, to be honest with you. That's how much of an impact he had in the first one to me.
Yeah, he was there right outside, trying to get into the Honeybee, because I think they weren't letting anybody in. You had to have a membership or something like that. Pretty much like how it was in the remake, but they fleshed out Johnny to a whole sub character. So it was fun.
He was irritating to me.
Yeah.
He was irritating. He was irritating to me.
Really?
He didn't grow up. He was trying. He was like a little kid.
He was very slapstick to me. I enjoyed the goofy dumb character that has like a heart of gold type of thing.
Gotcha.
Was it really a heart of gold though? Was it really?
I mean, I liked his little fanboy crush that he had on Tifa, like what's fucking Rude, Loki Rude having a crush on Tifa. Y'all remember that shit? When they were running up the top up the stairs and he moved like right before Reno was gonna blow it up. Yeah, because in the original, Rude has a huge crush on Tifa, but like you have to read through the dialogue for that. My bad.
But see, that's the thing though. Like, I don't think that's really ever touched on until Advent Children, because it's kind of here and there in the original.
Yeah.
Advent Children where they really you see his reactions to Tifa.
Yeah.
Right.
I really knew he had something for Tifa when what was the first time they met, or first time they showed him in the game?
In the remake?
Yeah, in the remake. I forget where were they at? It's like he knew her, or I forgot what part that was. It was near the beginning.
I think it might have been outside. No, it wasn't outside the bar. But I know what you're talking about. Like he shows that subtle like shyness, like he's bashful.
Yeah, like oh, you with her, or I wasn't expecting to see you here.
Yeah, they did a good job of including more, because I felt like 7, the original, they could only do so much. They were really trying to mainly focus more on the story, and they wanted to make it more comedic and have fun with it. So it never 7 took moments not to take itself too seriously, the original. I feel like the remake kind of took that. They kind of rode those coattails as well with that dynamic. I enjoyed that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I liked about Johnny, because like if you look at Johnny's character, like even the way he gets dragged off in 7, he's that slapstick, not serious character the whole time.
I like that. Like we could talk about the honeybee moment in the original too. That's they completely changed what happened in the with the remake in that.
That was the original.
Yeah, the original, people think that, something might have happened to
Ain't no
Cloud.
thinking. Ain't no thinking. It's like when you wake up and your backside hurt and you were just in a tub full of men. Ain't no thinking.
Hey, he was tired. There was a pain in his lower back. We don't know. All right? Don't do that to my boy Cloud, even though I think he's annoying anyways. But still.
He got better He got better. He started coming into his own feelings.
The whole let's not try to go too deep into it. I really want to get into the end, but I'm being selfish. But what they did with Cloud, the initial what they were planning for him and what they achieved in all honesty, they made him a 15-year-old boy in a 21-year-old man's body. Because remember, he was in stasis. He was pretty much his brain was in stasis when he was exposed to all that Mako reactor that Hojo inflicted him with, him and Zack in the Shinra mansion. Excuse me.
Well, that's see now that goes stuff. We started talking about stuff that still the remake hasn't even touched on yet.
Yeah, it sure hasn't. Because you just see Zack at the end, and you like, if you don't know about Zack, you just see him like, hold on, he got the same sword. Oh, he's carrying. He's carrying Cloud. What? Hold on now.
Yeah, let me not get too far in. Then I apologize, but I like that they make Cloud this edge lord guy that's just, I don't got time for this. If it pays good, I'll take care of it for you. That whole tough demeanor, but we all know you soft as hell. But it just came off annoying to me sometimes. Like he was too edgy for me sometimes.
That's the thing, though. He's supposed to be that way.
Yeah, he's mimicking the idea of what a hero man, like bounty hunter, mercenary guy is. That's why I feel like he's. Go ahead.
Because Cloud, even in the original 7, he's just trying to be cool. And when you trying too hard, it's always supposed to come off as
corny. You a phone ball.
Like he knew that. He knew that himself, though. Like you could see it in his face that he was like, "I guess I'm gonna react like this. Do I really want to react this way?" Like that's how I felt when I was playing this character. I felt like he didn't know how to react to stuff, so he's like, "I'm just gonna be this way." Like if he was in high school, he was trying to be the cool kid, and then you realize like, well, maybe it's okay to actually express my feelings and not be an asshole the whole time. That's what I think.
That's a lot coming from you, Sour Patch. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Ever since I played Crisis Core, whenever I see Cloud, all I think of is a little brother trying to be like his big brother.
Yes,
that's all I see now. That's my perspective, though.
Yeah, I take that perspective because you played Crisis Core, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah, we played Crisis Core. We get it. Like I'm here with y'all.
I didn't play it, so I'm not gonna lie. But I watched
it. I played it. I don't know about you.
So it's good. But I'm in it. I'm there.
No, yeah. I think Cloud's character was spot on. Honestly, even though he annoyed me at times, I understood the idea after playing the game and reading up on what Tetsuya Nomura, the director, because he had his hand in the original Final Fantasy, so he understood the character of Cloud. Like he was trying too hard to be that cool guy. That's all that was. So, but I enjoyed his character dynamic. I think Tifa and Barrett are the two best characters in the whole series, honestly. So
because they have so much heart, that's what it is. It's just Cloud didn't know who. I feel like Cloud didn't actually remember exactly who he was at the point in time.
I'll make one correction here. The best character of the whole damn game is Sephiroth. I just want to set that right there. Just want to say that.
Oh my God, I'm trying to hate everyone right now.
Yo,
why you hating
the best character? And he just shows up and smirks. You can't be the best character that way.
Can we be honest?
He did more than just smirk, though. I mean,
he smirked, stabbed somebody, controlled a couple of whispers, and
it wasn't the whispers.
And held out his hand. He wanted that friendship. He
just I know
his love for Cloud. He had love for Cloud
because Sephiroth's that guy. He's that dude, bro. He's
that dude that has love for Cloud. That's what he is.
No.
Yes.
No.
It was definitely presented that way, but I know, like, as a joke, that shit was really, really heavy-handed. How like,
see, like
in
it
his
was like
face.
a partnership. Like he wanted to embrace him. The whole time he was leading Cloud. Like he was helping Cloud like multiple steps away of pushing them in a direction. Like he might not have been doing it right the whole time because it's Sephiroth. Like I mean, the baddest mofo in the Final Fantasy VII universe. But at the same time, you can still see that he showed up at his opportune times. He showed up when he needed to show up.
I will say this: Sephiroth is one of the more cunning bad guys in the Final Fantasy, like
Seriously?
bad guys out there. The way he's moving in Remake, it's not that he cares for Cloud.
He just wants to get something out of him.
One of the people that, going back to the original, you see Sephiroth multiple times actually control Cloud's actions. Like Cloud doesn't have as much control as he thinks he does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and it was applied the same way in the remake too. Just like that whole fire scene.
Yep.
He just shows up in front of him like it's nothing. He wants him to go towards a certain direction, so he leads him in that direction.
Can we, like, real quick? Can I just have a quick moment of reflect? Like, just, do y'all feel like it was too soon
to
show Sephiroth?
No, I don't think so. I think the way they paced him out through the game was actually pretty good. They you got a good hint of him at the beginning at the fire scene. Well, I'm gonna say hint, but you get to see him.
Yeah.
But you don't see what he does though. But then then at the end, when he delivered that cold justice to Barrett.
Cold justice.
Let's be honest, Max. Anyone who knows anything about Final Fantasy VII was just waiting to see him anyway.
I feel like they had him in a game like that because they wanted to give people embrace people. Like they wanted to capture people. People would have been playing a game. You know what the reviews would have been? The reviews would have been, where the fuck is Sephiroth at? That's what the reviews would have been at.
Exactly.
All right.
James, I wrote that review. That was me. I wrote that. That was me.
All right.
I would say if they did not put Sephiroth in the game, anyone who played Final Fantasy VII, like, well, he doesn't show up till calm. Sephiroth's first scene was calm. Yeah, like you see his core first in Midgar.
Exactly.
Find out who he is in calm. Like
I think, all right, and I understand
but
that
they had so many other games with him in it. It's like I feel like so many people knew about him that they couldn't do it. If they presented it that way, they would have messed it up.
I won't say that's a moot point, but I don't think that should be the main focus of the first disc of the first game. And going back to what you said, Nigel, of course, people are expecting it. You've seen Advent Children. If you never played the original, you've seen Advent Children. You played Dissidia. You played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Like, you know who Sephiroth is. You know he's a baddie. You know he's from Final Fantasy VII from 1997 when the game came out. So people have pandered to Sephiroth, the character, the image of Sephiroth, for a very long time. What I'm saying is, I don't think it was necessary to show him so soon. I think if they went about the route of the original, it would have been just as effective. I think, of course, having moments with him in the fire in the first 2 hours of the fucking game, we get it. We're setting up pieces. Sephiroth is the bad guy. That's something that the people that play the original will know, and even people that don't know who Sephiroth is, they just know his image will know. I get that.
The bad guy.
That's what I'm getting. That's gonna get into it later. That's gonna be with theories. I'm there with you, James. Trust me. My issue with how they treated Sephiroth, I think of like a horror movie, a slasher horror movie, or not. You could attest for this. You love horror films where you're not showing the bad guy is there, but you never really get a glimpse of him. You know he's around. Like that moment when him and when he walked by Palmer, the dude in the mustard in the Sugar building.
Yeah.
Where they didn't even show his face. They just saw, even though that wasn't Sephiroth, but they didn't even show who Sephiroth. Like they didn't show the face, nothing. I felt that would have been great if they did something along that throughout the game.
Leave it as a mystery.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, they could have did that, but then
But I feel, by the way, I guess I feel like you couldn't wait to bring him in, because then how'd you explain Cloud's like not necessarily flashbacks, but Cloud's what's what I'm looking for, delirialism or fabrication of reality.
But that's the thing, they still haven't explained that.
Yeah, it's still ambiguous.
They still haven't explained that yet.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad they did. There's a lot of ambiguity when it comes to Cloud and Sephiroth, and now Zack. There's a huge. They're able to now flesh out these characters, but I feel like. Go ahead, Tom. It's my bad.
But that's the thing, though. Zack wasn't introduced in the game until like mad late. Also,
yeah,
you didn't even see Zack until way later in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
talking about in the original or this one?
In the original. Zack,
yeah, the original wasn't introduced until late.
You only hear about Zack from Aerith because she says, "I used to have a boyfriend." But she never said his name.
You don't know her boyfriend was anything important.
Exactly.
But
you just know he was Soldier. That's it.
So you just know she had a boyfriend and Soldier. You don't know who Zack is. Like you see hints of him, but you don't. You don't even have to like see him if you don't do certain stuff. So like Zack's wasn't a main. Cause I think if I originally remember how they said, like Zack wasn't even developed till like they were finishing the game, the original game. So that's why you don't see Zack throughout the game like that. So like he's an idea that came out towards the end of development of the original Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I remember reading that.
So him, Sephiroth, kind of.
It's.
When we get into like talking about the endings, it's gonna be more. It'll be easy. Yeah, because
I agree. When we get to the end, talking about the ending, I think it'll be.
It's gonna make more sense why Sephiroth and Zack had been shown earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to hear that then, because not that I think it was a bad idea, not that I was annoyed or I thought that was a horrible. No, they should have never done that. It's just I wanted Sephiroth to be that constant presence where you don't see him, but you can tell by the music, by the tension that they're showing, by the characters reacting. Like I would have appreciated that more. If it was like Jaws in the sea, it's like Jaws in the ocean, ready to pound. Like you don't see Jaws, you just see the person above water reacting to what's under him. I like that. I like that mystery or that tension, that thriller. But that's just me personally.
But I'll say too though, like with the idea, because if Sephiroth never would have showed up, see, with Sephiroth showing up, you see when he shows up in the first fire scene, you see he's playing a chess game at this point.
Oh yeah, of course.
Him, and it's not about Cloud. It's about him going up against the Whisperers, pretty much. That scene is to let you know Sephiroth knows what's going on, and he's here to start doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
those Whispers. At first, they were really annoying the hell out of me at first.
But
I understood the whole point of what the Whispers were.
Like
it's kind of crazy because like they would show up and they would fight against the group, but then they would guide the group, and then Sephiroth was able to control them at his will, too.
I don't think he was controlling them at his will. They were still.
Thomas,
well, if he weren't controlling them at his will, he's sure. I don't know, man. Actually, no, you're wrong.
Like, what you talking about?
Controlled them for some of them boss.
Talking about the ending.
You talking about the
controlled them.
Remember at the ending, at that point when
dipped them.
When we get into the all right, we got to jump into the ending at this point.
We'll get into the ending. I still want to focus on what you guys did enjoy. We kind of jumped all over the place. But what else did y'all enjoy about the game?
Was when they was going up, when it was climbing the broken world, like when they finally got over the wall after you left Wall Street and you had to go crawl all the way up. Like that was like one of my favorite parts like of the whole game.
That was all right, yeah.
I don't know why, but I just like the pace. You said what?
When you climbed up at Wall Market.
Yeah, Wall Market was so. At first I did not like Wall Market, man. I didn't like how so condensed it was, but I understood the reason afterwards. Well, I'm sorry. What did I call it?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, I thought I called it Walmart for a second.
Walmart.
No, Wall Market was just so condensed. It was starting to annoy me because the camera movement and your character. But I understood the art because that's what it was, just a place where they all just built a bunch of shit. And you just do whatever. It's like Las Vegas to them, pretty much. Do whatever you want. You got honeybee, strip clubs, and prostitution. That's pretty much what the honeybee was. Huh?
The two worst parts of the game for me was driving that motorcycle because of the controls.
You like it?
Man, I liked the motorcycle, but I hated the controls on it. And then, or the camera view. And then, it was the underground tunnel. What was that part? What was that part called?
The sewers?
Sewers or
No, the underground tunnel. The tunnel, the fallen.
Subway, right? Talking about the subway? The collapsed subway?
Yeah, the collapsed subway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to motorcycle or just driving scene where you have to attack and fight. I've never really been a big fan of those. Any of y'all else, bad or good? Because we about to get into it. We about to get into bread and butter, baby. All right. So,
No question. Oh.
All right, we back. Me and Marauders, we are back. We were able to discuss a bit of what we liked, what we didn't like. We kind of lost ourselves, but in this moment, we're going to be speaking on the ending and some of the theories we're getting into. So I didn't say before, spoilers. If y'all reach this far into the video, I know we could all be pretty long-winded, especially me. But in this very moment, we are spoiling the rest of this game, especially the ending. So if you don't want to be a part of that,
too bad.
Yeah, you could go out, you can leave right now. So with all that, how did y'all feel about this?
I didn't get an opportunity to say it, but I did like how they incorporated Red in the game.
Ooh, we did not speak on that.
I thought it was pretty glad they did Red 13.
I think so too.
Especially with the fact that he was helping you along the way to get through the building. That was pretty dope on that.
Even though he wasn't a playable character, he actually did assist you, which I like too. So yep.
It makes sense. Go ahead.
And if I'm not mistaken, they left his origin kind of ambiguous too.
Yes.
Besides that flashback, you see some.
They're doing exactly how it was in the original. They did the exact same thing in the original. You don't know anything about him until Cosmo Canyon.
Yeah.
I'll say too that flashback is not a flashback of his past.
It's just a regular scene, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I figured too.
It was so weird that they did that.
It was a what scene? It was like a new Destiny scene?
No.
No. At all.
The flashback they did for Red 13 was actually just an original clip from the original game.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So him running in the canyon was actually part of the game.
That's what I want to when I get to my theories on this where it's at. That's where some of those flashbacks are going to come in at.
Damn.
That's all I wanted to say.
All right. I'm because I'm already there. I'm ready to burst.
I forgot that because I seen Red before and I had got Red, but I forgot that part of the game though.
Yeah, in the original game, by the way, cover your ears if you're a little squeamish. In the original game, they were going to breed Red 13 and Aerith together.
Earmuffs. What?
Where's Palmer at?
I was up on the screen. Well,
correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Thomas, but that's exactly what Hojo was going to do, right?
Yeah, he kind of meant he.
I was trying to figure out what Hojo was trying to do. He looked like I was like, is he trying to make Aerith
in the original?
What's he trying to do?
In the original, they're doing that. In the remake, they're going to breed her with soldiers.
Nope, he's going to be in with a special type of soldier, which
special type. I was like, who was that? I was like, the special type Sephiroth is a special type Cloud. Who was?
There's the S type and the G type.
Yeah, and I was like, who are these? I don't know if they know.
G type.
That's from Crisis Core.
On the Sephiroth ones, G types are the Genesis.
Yes.
Okay.
But we can't get too deep into that. That's another whole other video, or we could just briefly talk on that. But how did y'all feel about this ending, man?
I liked it.
I liked it too.
It got me excited for the next one.
Yeah, like
it
left a lot open.
They left they left talking about changing destiny. I mean, I was like, you could do anything with that. Like,
I think the thing for me, what I liked about the ending part was even through the battle portion of it, it kind of confused me how the Hollows, well, sorry, I call them Hollows, sorry, Whisperers, totally different anime there. but all the whispers came together, and then they created the kind of reflection of the heroes that you had. They had the sword one, which was Cloud, and they had one that was shooting, which was Barret, and then a fighting one, which was Tifa. So I was like, kind of interesting there, kind of interesting. And I think I'm not, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Whispers' goal was to not change the future or lead you towards your destiny.
Not to alternate the timeline.
Yeah.
The original timeline.
So like I said, I think it leaves a lot open from what happened between the timelines, and especially how Sephiroth ended up battling Cloud. All
right, hold up.
Battle Cloud using the Whispers though.
No. Wait. All right.
Yes, he did.
So us four.
What energy was he pulling in? All right.
So, Nigel, how did you feel about the ending?
Liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
That was anticlimactic.
Yeah, I was how you gonna get into it. All right.
Liked it. Yes.
I definitely liked it. I love the idea that this is. I can see why hardcore Final Fantasy VII fans are up in arms and ready to shit on this game and threaten not to play the second one, even though
they lying.
They
lying.
This game is open for interpretation now. Like anything can happen in this universe now. Aerith could survive. Tifa could die. Barret could die. Red 13 could live or die. It doesn't like anything is possible now. Cloud can die.
Yeah, Cloud can die.
I want Cloud to die.
But if Cloud dies because he killed Sephiroth.
Sephiroth's not dead.
But I'm saying Cloud dies because he kills Sephiroth. If whatever way to go with the game, that's what I'm saying. That's the only way he dies.
Let's not get too far into the theories just yet.
But I was gonna say too though, like the ending. The only reason people who play Final Fantasy VII are mad at the ending is because it truly cements that this is not a remake.
Allegedly, yeah. Allegedly, this is why they could be mad. But yeah,
I agree with you on that one.
It's not allegedly. It's not a remake.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm saying this could be a reason.
I was just like, yo, what? Hold on. I haven't even finished playing the whole original game, and I know this is straight up different, like all the way.
I'll be honest.
When I saw Cloud, my bad. Go ahead, Nigel. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I'm gonna go ahead and I was somebody who didn't finish the original. I'll say that. And Max gave me all kinds of shit for playing the remake without playing the original. So now the fact that I know the storyline, what happened in the original, in the movies and everything. So I was just sitting there waiting. I was like, damn, when is Aerith gonna get it?
Yeah,
it never came. So.
Me too. Yo, me too, because I was like, hold on. Is she going to join the party again? Wait a second. Is she going to die when they try to save her? I was trying to figure that out.
So we all know that Aerith dies, but y'all didn't know when she dies.
Right.
That's still a long way.
That's going to be in the ancients.
Yeah, that's still a long way away.
What I was gonna say was what caught me off guard, because I thought they were gonna just cut straight to the end. Like I thought they were gonna cut straight to the end, kind of like on the original, where Cloud's coming in and Sephiroth is sitting there waiting on him. I was like, I better not use that goddamn last finishing move to fight him. And I got really upset there, man.
All right. So we understand. Okay, because it's not really a theory. I think it's been proven already. When you fight the Whispers, when they all congregate and become pretty much, you fight Destiny, because this is a Tetsuya Nomura game. And if you don't fight Destiny in one of his games, it is not a Tetsuya Nomura game. So you get to this place where you're fighting, I forgot the big Destiny's name. I forgot his name.
But you're not a Wraith, but it's something.
Arbiter. Yeah, I think that's the name.
Yeah.
Something Arbiter. Those three minions that you fight before they transform into Behemoth or whatever you call them, they're allegedly I don't know if it's been proven already, but those are the three individuals from Advent Children, the bad guys. I heard that could be because the swords, the names of their weapons are the exact same names in the movie. They're what the movie's weapons are. Yeah, look it up.
That's
the exact same weapons, exact same names of the weapons, anyways. So that could be just the creators, just doing a nod to it. Or it could really be them from Advent Children.
That's pretty dope.
This game plays with timelines. Like you're playing with timelines consistently with this game. You don't. but I'll get into that. The part, that Arbiter moment was cool. All the Whispers coming together because they're supposed to be Destiny. They're supposed to keep the timeline going. Once you beat them, you go into the Sephiroth scene. Can I just say that can I just say that Sephiroth fight was one of the best fights in that game, if not the best fight in the game?
Yeah, it
I
felt
would
good.
agree.
I agree.
It was good.
Bro, the
I
choreography.
beat him the first time. I made quick work of him, honestly.
You play
him on hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't playing more hard. I'm only playing more normal. Then I'm
When
going to
you play
go to
him
God
on
of
hard,
War. Then I'm
that's
going to go
fun.
to Nier Automata. I know. that
Stop flexing, James. Stop flexing. Stop flexing, James. Shut up.
Let's be
Stop flexing.
honestly,
I'd be
even on
Sephiroth so fast.
on normal, I'm not gonna say I had difficulty with him, but it was, you had to find, like, he was bringing moves back from that he did in Advent Children.
No, he was. That was the other thing. Some of the moves he's doing some of the moves from Advent Children, doing moves from Crisis Core, and from Dissidia. That's why some of the moves don't make sense, because unless you play Final Fantasy Dissidia, which is a whole spin-off series, some of those moves that's the only time you ever see them.
That's where we're getting to the theory portion. But that whole fight, when you have your characters jumping in, that just felt like such a good anime moment to me, and I just had a fawn over that. When you're fighting by Cloud, along with Cloud, and then Tifa or Aerith, depending on who you were more affectionate with, Tifa or Aerith will show up first. But Tifa, then Aerith, then Barrett, then Red 13, and then, the power of friendship compels you type shit. It was really dope. Oh. And I think, I don't know, but I'm gonna stop right there. How did y'all feel about the fight?
No, I'll hit you with a timeout right quick.
Go ahead.
Whoever said those Whispers are named after the weapons from Final Fantasy Advent Children,
they lied?
Wrong.
What word?
They are wrong. The Dodge's weapon is called Soba, and the red one's called Red Room or something like that.
That's why we got a fact checker in the group.
But wait, no. What about there was one that had Night Star? Somebody had a weapon called Night Star. The gun. The person that was using the gun. What was that weapon called? And then Croft referenced that with the Advent Children.
And the weapon, the Whisper's name in the game is Ravidi or something like that.
Ravidi?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the weapons
Are you talking about the powers, like, how they would hit you and they would charge up? You talking about those names? Because those had names too, right?
No, the actual Whispers. That actual Whispers, that one was using a sword, quote unquote. One was using a gun. The other one
I was talking about when they actually was about to do a power. I thought you was talking about those names. Okay.
Yeah, because I could have sworn. Well, I don't want to get too heavy. If I'm wrong,
they don't have any names for their weapons.
I could have sworn.
Well, I'm saying, like, when they was about to hit you, whatever,
magic.
It had. I could have sworn I seen a name pop up on the screen.
Yeah, they do. They have names that, like, they have special names or whatever.
Oh, yeah, Figra. How do you say that word? Crimson Arc, Sweep, and Flurry.
I could
swear I seen some other names too, but okay.
I saw or read something about it, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take it back. I'll do my research some other time about it. But how did y'all feel about the fight? About the Sephiroth fight?
Oh, I loved it.
Are we talking about the whole thing all together? As in the Sephiroth,
just the sequence of it.
And everything else?
Yeah, the sequence.
Man, Sephiroth gave me hell. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. He was serving my ass on a platter, dog.
He had some challenging moments, man, for real.
He did. See, what I started doing, I started guarding all the time. I was like, forget it. I'm just guarding.
That counter. I was cheap with that counter move that Cloud gets.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That counter move, I don't think I ever used it correctly, man. Because I would use it and then, like, I would get hit right back, and I'm like, I don't know how to use this move correctly. I was like, forget it. I'm just gonna guard him and use all my other moves, and I still beat him. And I was like, okay, well.
Yeah, you got to use it at the right moment with Sephiroth. You just can't keep
mashing it like that, and you get hit.
Yep.
You'll see.
That's a free hit right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's a.
So what happens? Say it again. Explain it again.
When you execute the move, he does a pose, and as soon as he gets hit,
yeah,
a lot of shit happens. That's you. You're hitting them.
Yeah, you're hitting. It's almost. I wouldn't compare it to Octa Slash, but it's you Cloud moves so quick you don't see the counter pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that whole sequence.
I thought I might have been getting hit at that time. I was looking at it and I was like, oh, okay.
Like too many lights. I don't know.
And I was like, I'm switching.
The part that I wouldn't say confused. The part that kind of confused me, or I guess it kind of be left to interpretation. Y'all can correct me. Sephiroth was controlling the Whispers in that fight.
That's what I said.
I think he did it intentionally you weaken the Whisperers pretty much. You defeat the Whisperers, they're weakened. They're still alive though. I think Sephiroth used that moment. He used you in that moment to destroy the Whisperers so he could destroy Destiny and go a completely different route from the original. That's what I think.
That's how I felt too.
Because he wanted you to fight Destiny. He wanted you to fight Destiny.
But at that point, Aerith knows what's going on.
Yeah.
She knows 100% what's going on.
She says it before you go into the portal to fight the Arbiters.
She knows, like, this is, like, Sephiroth is more, he's not controlling the Whispers. The Whispers are like, yo, if y'all go through and keep moving forward what you're doing, you're going
altering the timeline.
You're going to alter the timeline. So they're trying to stop you from altering the timeline, which is going to end up helping him out.
Yeah,
I could have sworn he absorbed them when he formed his body, when you fought him.
That's exactly what he brought them all in his body right before the fight starts to I guess to make him stronger. I'm not exactly sure.
That's why he only okay. Does he ever get 2 wings? Because I thought he only had 1 wing because he only had half his power.
No, he only has him, Genesis, and Angel only grow 1 wing.
Yeah, they started that shit when
Okay.
And initially in the game in 7, he never grew 1 wing.
Nah, that shit came from Kingdom Hearts.
That came from Crisis Core. And
I thought that came from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts and Crisis Core.
Yeah.
So
that shit was weird. That was just some flair shit. They just wanted to add some shit to Sephiroth, make him more look badass. I think it comes from that final fight because he has a wing in the final fight in Final Fantasy VII.
Nope.
It's like a wing. One. It's sort of like a wing. It's not. It's like it's something on his body though. It almost looks like a wing.
We're gonna call it a wing. We're gonna call it a wing.
The final judgment Sephiroth. I forgot what he's called.
You talking when he's original, right? Flying in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh man, he has like 6 wings or something like that.
Yeah, he has a bunch of stuff on him, so I guess they kept.
See, that's why I thought he only had like half his power. I was like, oh, so he just got 1 wing, so he ain't got all his power yet. That's why he was able to beat him in the game because I was like, if Sephiroth really wanted to kill you, he could just do all that crap at you and just killed you. Like I was just like, okay.
All right, so check. So after that fight with Sephiroth, we have a whole beautifully cut, choreographed cutscene to watch. Right? On the edge, was it on the very edge of Earth or the universe? That's where I think you're at?
Yo, it's like near the beginning of time, right? Like he was saying it was to be the change of death. What did he call it? Dang, I just seen it. He called it
the very edge of time or the very edge of the universe where you land with Sephiroth, where Cloud lands with Sephiroth.
I think that's the same place you fight him in.
Exactly. All right, my bad. I apologize. That's that moment. I almost got upset on that moment. Why would you show this if it's exactly like this in the original?
I thought that, and that's why I got upset earlier because I thought he was gonna kill him there. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah. But I love the bait and switch. I love the whole moment.
Right. Exactly.
It showed that we did this intentionally to show, this happened in the original, but we're changing everything up now. This may not happen in the original anymore. I mean, in the remake now.
That's what I thought the whole point of the changing Destiny thing was. I thought he brought him there. It was like, hey, look, we could change stuff from here. That's what I thought the point of it was.
But that's what the Whispers were showing them. That whole fight, the Whispers are showing them, this is what you're risking right now. Like when you see when it hits Red 13 in the head, you see Red 13 running with his kids.
That's right.
That's the ending of Final Fantasy VII.
Good point. That was a good one.
Like that's like the Whispers are in there like, yo, y'all are moving forward with this bad idea. We've been trying to keep things on track this whole game, and it suffers the whole time because I wouldn't go into major spoilers now.
Do it.
Are y'all ready?
Go for it. We got years, man. Go for it.
But my question is though, how would you explain the foreign whisper from the other fights though? Like
which one?
That special purple whisper.
That's
that
one
part of it too.
He knows what's going on because when you fight him before the plate collapses, he's holding Cloud and them in place so they don't get there too early to save everybody.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people aren't supposed to live if the world's going to go the way it's going to go.
Is Jesse alive?
Wait, what?
Is Jesse alive now?
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Didn't they show him on the bed?
That's
Jesse. They didn't show Jesse. They didn't show Jesse. They
had her glove. Her glove was on the table.
Her glove was on the table.
She could be alive, but right now we know Biggs is alive. And I guess they killed Wedge again, which I'm like,
I don't know if they killed Wedge either.
I don't know if
Man,
they
they threw him out a window.
Everybody else was still inside the tower.
They threw him out a
Everybody else
window.
was still inside the tower.
Yeah, like,
Hey, he's
everyone
funny,
else,
man. He bounced right back from that shit. I apologize.
they threw him out a window.
Bounce off
but-
the ground and be okay. That's all he could have jumped out the window for all I care. And he's
But
still
my bad. I
lived.
deterred away.
But the Whisper showed that Cloud buries Aerith. They show so much, like, and all that stuff that they're showing happens. And then the fact of the matter is, when we just talking about how Sephiroth absorbed the Whispers, Sephiroth's still not there.
And that's actually another thing. They I don't know if it's true or not, but in that Ultimania book, I know we spoke about it off screen. You saying that a lot of it was before the game even came out. They were doing interviews and all that.
Yeah.
They reported that the Sephiroths you see in the game are up to 3 or 4 different Sephiroths within the timeline.
That's how it originally was.
And I have no problem with that.
If you played the original, in the original game, Sephiroth is never actually there when you see him moving around. The whole time he's trapped where he's been trapped at.
Well, they say that you see there's moments where you see Sephiroth and it's actually Sephiroth because you don't remember he's using some of the black robe individuals. Yeah. There's times when you see him do an image and it's from Sephiroth. It's not one of the robe guys.
But that's the thing though.
Yeah.
That was saying like Sephiroth has been able to mind control so many different people from where he's been at because he's tied with the planet.
Yeah.
So like Sephiroth can't leave where he's at. So when you see like all the Whispers get sucked into him, it's like he's not really there. The Whispers are like, we're trying to stop something, and we're gonna do whatever we need to do to stop it from happening.
But so the Whispers were absorbed by a black robed individual?
No, they weren't. I don't think they were absorbed. I think they just made Sephiroth there.
I think they make Sephiroth, but I thought he was controlling them at that point to make Sephiroth because he wanted.
They made him
to talk to him.
Because if Sephiroth would have stopped them in that fight, they would have got stopped from changing history. So why would Sephiroth fight them there?
So
no, I think that Sephiroth was trying to make them strong to lead them on because Sephiroth wanted to use them, but that was in course trying to change destiny. I think Sephiroth wanted them to fight against destiny with them, and that meant fight against the Whisperers, but he was able to use the Whisperers as energy. That's what I think. But
that's the thing, like when you're fighting Sephiroth when he has the one wing out, like that at that point, Sephiroth is already just if they could beat Sephiroth at that level, what you find out when you go to the edge of time, Zack don't have no hands on Sephiroth still. That would have been a whole different fight because that was Sephiroth powered up when that wing is out. Mm-hmm. But then when you see him at the end of time, Zack can't hang with him. Cloud can't hang with him.
I don't know because so that Sephiroth you see in the Edge of Time, who is that? The Whisperers?
I think that's Sephiroth in the who's trapped.
I think both of them was Sephiroth.
Because I don't know.
I'm Sephiroth.
Stupid.
But when you think about it though, because when you remember when Sephiroth has capabilities because he has control of the live stream. So he can manipulate things that he wants to. The Whispers, the new thing, they're trying to also manipulate things how they want to. I think it's just two different forces who are equally, I don't think they're as strong as Sephiroth is.
But why did he say he was waiting for you when he walked through that portal? Like, why would the Whisperers tell him to come through the portal, change things? Sephiroth told him to go through that portal.
Sephiroth wants him to.
For consideration, Sephiroth's being an actual villain there. He doesn't want to do the work. He wants you to do the work for him. So once you alter that timeline, his job is done.
That's how he moves.
Why would the Whisperers want to control? Project the image to Sephiroth? That doesn't make any sense because they could just been the arbiter or whatever the wall, whatever the thing was. That was them there. I feel like after they got beat, Sephiroth used them.
See, I think the original 3 arbiters you fight are Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett. The ones
different timeline?
The gun, the one that punches, and the red one. Mm-hmm. Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett.
From a different timeline?
Wait, what?
From a different timeline?
Yeah, from the original timeline. And then what they do, they summon Bahamut, which we can't beat them, hands down. Go to the next thing, which is Bahamut, king of the summons. You handle king of the summons, we're gonna go to the next thing.
But that said, the summons was like energy of the earth, and the whispers was trying to save the earth. So shouldn't they be able to use Bahamut?
They're trying to save Destiny.
Yeah,
Destiny.
they're not worried.
Destiny.
Yeah,
trying to
Earth
save
plays in part with that as well, or Gaia.
They want everything to play out like it already played out before. Hence why
they don't want to deter away from the original timeline.
Hence why they were willing to kill people in certain parts, but they were going to save people at other parts. Because that's why they were going to kill Biggs, Web, and Destiny.
This didn't happen in the original, right?
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's how this is the thing. So when they made this remake, they were using the original as the basis of the original Destiny, and then they put this part at the end to change it so they could do what they want for the next games. That's how I feel about the whole thing. That's why they had the whole Destiny. That's why they project what could happen in the past, and like that's what I mean, or in the future of the old game. That's exactly what they did.
I think this one's more of a sequel. I think if you look at the ending and stuff, this is more like the way Sephiroth's moving around and all that. That's why, like he showed up in the beginning, because Sephiroth already knows what's going on in the beginning. He's like, "Yo, I need you to do certain things, so I don't get killed 2 more times." You know, as Sephiroth said in the Advent Children, I will always remember you, and I'm always going to be here. So,
if you always, that's the whole point of Sephiroth.
Yeah, like he's not going to go away as long as Cloud's alive.
All right, just real quick. The only reason why I think it's the guys, I keep forgetting their names, from Advent Children is because Kadaj, Yuzu, Yazu, or whatever, and the other one. The reason why, because they go within the same, like they also summoned Neo Behemoth.
They summoned a different Bahamut, but there's multiple Bahamuts.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like you can still use that argument. I don't know, man. I'm gonna look into it deeper. I think using them as the arbiters of destiny, it felt better to me but I like the idea of fighting Tifa and Barret and Cloud, cool. But I like that dynamic better. I'm gonna look into it though.
Those 3 can't even stand up to the original cast. Like Kadaj couldn't handle Cloud. Like
Yazu or Yuzu, whatever the motherfucker that had the gauntlets, he was taking care of Tifa.
No, remember Tifa hit him with that star move. I think he like cheap shot her or something like that, if I remember correctly.
I think he shocked her, yeah.
Yeah, he cheap shot like that. They can't handle the original hands. Like,
they'll beat that woman's ass.
That's my house.
That's why they shut us down. There we go.
Yep. Right. thanks for everyone that was enjoying our show. All right, let's move along. The biggest part, all right, that Edge of Destiny moment was so fucking dope. It looked like didn't it seem like they were a lot stronger as soon as they came through that portal? All of a sudden, Cloud knows how to use the Octo. It looked like he was doing the fucking Octo Slash.
No, he did not use the Octo Slash.
That shit looked like it for a quick second.
Octo Slash is a lot faster.
I was doing that in the game.
But that's the thing. Like he doesn't Octo Slash.
Is Octo Slash?
Octo Slash. Omni Slash.
Omni.
Yeah,
I did call it.
Zack and Sephiroth use Octo Slash. When he does Omni Slash, that's when he does Octo Slash, where he takes it to a faster pace to the point where it looks like shadow clones almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can do that a lot faster. And the fact that Sephiroth was able to keep up with them, you knew Cloud ain't had no hands on him because
I'm just saying he never moved that fast throughout. I mean, I guess it's for that cinematic
he didn't
effect.
move that fast throughout the game.
Well,
The only person that moved that fast was Tifa throughout the game when she did her star shower. That's the only person who moved that fast. Or when Cloud did his lemon break.
Yeah, I think that's his lemon break. Well, not his ascension. When he does ascension, I think
lemon break ascension.
Yeah.
That was just a quick moment. They all seem just a bit stronger to me. That's all.
Like the power of friendship makes you stronger.
Yeah, I guess so. That corny ass shit.
I'm telling you, man, he wanted to work with him. He said it. Like, I feel 100% the way they changed the game, the way they changed the Destiny. Sephiroth wants to work with Cloud if he can.
No, see, you're thinking of the wrong relationship. Sephiroth wants to use Cloud.
That's the thing.
Well, yeah.
I'll have to go back to the original on this one. When in the City of Ancients, when Ares is doing her thing, Sephiroth completely tells Cloud, "Go handle my light work."
Yeah, I get and that was crazy Sephiroth moment. Of course, he just wanted to destroy the Earth, all that. I get that, or Gaia. The part where I'm kind of seeing what James is talking about, I'm pretty much agreeing with, or at least somewhat agreeing with him, is I think he wants to. He's not as crazy in this. This Edge of Time Sephiroth is not as crazy as the original timeline Sephiroth. I think he still wants to do something with Gaia, but I don't think he wants to destroy Gaia anymore.
See, the original timeline Sephiroth is never really inherently just coming at Cloud like that. He's always like, yo, come on, follow me. Come on, do this. Yo, go get that material for me because I can't get out here and get that material. Like, he's always telling Cloud to do things for him through the whole original game.
Bro, y'all might have to let go. Y'all might have to let go of Sephiroth being the biggest, baddest bad guy. I don't think he's gonna be a bad guy like that no more. I don't think so.
Right.
So if he's the bad guy, he's the bad guy because he feels like a Thanos of the universe. That's what he feels like to me. Like, because he has his own view. He doesn't like the way humans are treating Earth, and he wants to have control of power, and he wants to bring it back to his original order.
He hasn't got to his Oedipus complex yet by him and his mother.
Yeah,
they haven't got to his mother part. That's when it gets.
That's gonna be interesting.
He said he wanted to do stuff with his mother, though. He said that as he grabbed his mother, and did his mother? I don't remember his mother appearing there that early. Like, was his mother ever? She was in the Shinra Tower in the original.
Yeah, he fight one of her tentacles or something like that.
It was just a piece of it. All right.
So her body was in the Shimmer Tower.
Her body is somewhere else.
They showed her body. I could have sworn they showed her body in the.
It was in the Shinra Tower. It was in Hojo's.
It didn't have the head. It didn't have the head. The head somewhere else.
The head's missing.
It was just
the head.
The body was there.
Torso.
Yeah.
So the head is somewhere else. Yeah.
All right, bet. Let's talk about one more thing. The very ending where now there's an alternate timeline where Zack is completely alive.
Yeah, that alone changes the fact that a lot of stuff is never going to happen now.
So the question that I want to ask, because we all seen it, there's a reason for that. Obviously, they're showing Zack being alive, dragging poison-infected Cloud into Midgard. There's a reason we're seeing that. But that's an alternate timeline because that dog that we see on the ship, propaganda dog or whatever, that's a completely different dog from the dog that you were following on walls throughout the game, right?
Scam. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this next game they're going to do, are they going to do a whole switch perspectives throughout the game, pacing-wise?
That'd be dope.
They could because, they might show it as the game's going because with the Zack being alive, a lot of that stuff's never going to happen. Cloud going on that journey to go kill Sephiroth, it's never going to happen now. Sephiroth got his wish with Zack being alive. Like, because Zack can't handle, as much as I like Zack, more than I like Cloud, he can't handle Sephiroth.
No one can. Look at that.
Yeah, no one actually.
Yeah.
Well,
here we go.
Cloud can handle him for a reason, but Zack can't handle Sephiroth because Zack was a normal human.
Zack we knew couldn't handle Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because the Zack that we see right there, I think in the next game, they're going to show everything that happened different, probably till when Zack possibly dies or whenever that happens.
Oh no, we saw that when he fought all them soldiers. That's how he dies in Crisis Core.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They changed the timeline, so he's alive now. So if he's alive now, and they showed just that group of the Final Fantasy characters like Red and everybody just walking, and Arabs sees him hold up. So where are you at? Where is he at now? That's the question. Does he die later now?
Well, no, I think they're still moving on. That's the weird thing about when you start messing with timelines. I think they're still moving on a path that he's not there, but I think he's what is it? So I think he's still not there in their timeline, but there's a timeline where he's back, which he's going to go back and say, hey, Arab, I got all your letters. Here I am.
So there's, not to cut you off, but there's 3 timelines. The original timeline that doesn't exist anymore. The new timeline that after they destroyed the Destiny, and Zack's timeline.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to show Zack in the next game. You're gonna have to be able to play Zack.
That's the whole point of showing Zack. It's gonna be it's obviously a plot device.
I honestly thought I was about to play Zack for a second. I thought I was gonna have to play Zack to fight those soldiers off, to project me in that moment.
That's Crisis Core.
Yeah, that's pretty much Crisis Core. This game,
But
man.
they're incorporating Crisis Core right now, though. So
Crisis Core still happened though in both timelines.
Yeah, that's why, like again, Kunzel. That's why they refer to certain people, and they refer to the soldier G like the soldiers type G, because those are the ones who are going to degradate and all that stuff. But yeah, that's one thing. The next one, they might pull a Final Fantasy VIII and do the simultaneous timelines.
I think
I
they're gonna do
remember.
simultaneous
That was
timelines.
9, wasn't it?
8. That was 8.
Oh,
They did
I never
I think
played
they're gonna
it.
do
My bad.
simultaneous timelines, and also they showed how that how Genova got to Earth. They showed that they showed that asteroid, and I was like, oh, so we're just gonna go ahead and say, yo, this is a species that wasn't even here originally, but we're gonna show it, but then not really give any backstory. Are they gonna give the backstory on that now?
That Shinra propaganda was really dope with the whole simulation, like how they pretty much say that the Ancients really wanted this and all that. That almost went over my head. That this never really happened. This is how Shinra wants this to happen.
So that's the thing too. I'm thinking that's what I'm saying. I believe this is more a sequel. Like this is Advent Children happened, Crisis Core, Dirge, all that stuff happened, and this is the sequel to all of that.
Dirge.
Like, even the Buster Sword is not the same in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But damn it! All right, that was good. We broke that down pretty well. This game.
I do wish one last thing. I wish, like, when you was fighting Sephiroth and you was fighting the Whispers and stuff like that, it's like when you was jumping off of the when you were jumping off the Eastern like item stuff. I wish they incorporated that into the battle, like besides just being straight cutscenes. I love how detailed it was, but it'd be so awesome if you was able to jump around on different items and fighting everybody. That would be so sweet.
This game was cinematic as hell, man. But we're gonna close it off right here. Like I said from the beginning, we could talk about this thing for hours because this game was on a different level. Like I know I've been calling out Last of Us 2. Nigel and I, we've been kind of hyping the hell out of that game, but I want to say Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Last of Us 2. They're like Last of Us 2 is almost above graphically, but I think the gameplay for Final Fantasy 7 is still top tier for me. But any last thoughts on y'all for anyone? Y'all good?
I think you said it all right there.
Yeah,
awesome.
Man. Great game. I give the game 8.5 out of 10. But that's
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting 8.5, man. You got some really good grades up there, then.
Yeah, to me, 8.5, close to a good, close 9. But
I
I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 because
I'm gonna give it a 9 too.
Give a sweet justice to Aaron.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Tifa, best girl. Now you know what? I'm gonna give it 10 because you get to play as Tifa. I'm good. I'm never allowed to talk about her. My bad. Go ahead.
I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, next one. If y'all would like to hear more theories, the viewers, we could do that. Just put comment below. But also remember to click like and subscribe, bell notification, all that for all good content. Media Marauders, we're here. We're gonna keep coming back with more content, and tell us what y'all think. And thank you for all the subscribers. We see y'all. Once again, leave a comment. This is Media Marauders. Y'all were great. We were great. We stayed doing good. So y'all have a good night, man. Y'all take it easy. I'm tired. No, I'm playing. All right, y'all.
4-day weekend.
No,
Peace.